that it reminded me of, watching wrestling 10 years ago when,
Yep.
when surprises were real. Like, oh, I didn't know this guy was coming back, or I didn't know, this guy was coming from WCW or whatever. It was awesome. This week was awesome because
Yes.
from top to bottom, almost every match was entertaining.
I saw some
Well,
of the early
well booked,
stuff.
well booked.
Yeah. I saw the early stuff, and apparently there were a lot of script rewrites as that news has trickled out seemingly immediately after Raw finished. But I saw the beginning. I don't know how it happened, but our DVR didn't record some of. I guess thankfully it recorded from the Ziggler Orton match through the end,
So you missed
and
the first match?
I happened to see the tag team triple threat
Okay. Okay.
live,
That was
but
a
I think
great
there was
match.
I was in and out of it, but I figured I knew who was going to end up coming out of that.
Um,
So
yeah, it was a great match, and you wait, okay, you did think it was going to be Cena and Ambrose?
yes,
Yeah. Um, and it was great. Uh, well done match. I thought it was weird, like why that match took place, but it did take place, and it was entertaining.
I don't know why I I get that they're starting to push Rowan and Harper, the Wyatts, as separate individuals, and that's great. But I still think they make a great tag team, and I disappointed in the fact that they're not getting utilized more in that sense. Because I'm tired of the Usos being on my television every week.
I don't mind watching the Usos wrestle. I don't really like their promos. A little too kiddyish, but they're
Yes.
in the ring. They're pretty awesome. So I don't mind them.
To
Um,
me, they're good, but they're predictable.
with the Yeah, well, they do a lot of the same moves over and over. Um, but they're high flying stuff.
Yeah.
To me, they can keep doing it over and over because it's some of the best going on Raw right now. But I want to kind of touch on what you said about the Wyatts.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard or read anything, but I heard what they're planning on doing is, and this is all speculation and just people reading stuff, but uh, the three of them obviously are kind of splitting up, but or at least they won't be coming out together. They're still going to be like the Wyatt family, but you won't see Bray come out with either Rowan or Harper, and they won't be, as well as they won't be coming out with Bray.
Hmm.
Bray is supposed to be getting a couple of more disciples. I guess there's some rumors on some guys from NXT that are going to be coming up and kind of Bray's new disciples, which kind of
Ooh.
builds. I love it. It like kind of builds this like his stable bigger. Like these guys
Yeah.
graduated. Rowan and Luke have graduated. That's how I feel. And he's like, now
Yeah.
I got more guys now, and I think that would be really cool if it does happen, because eventually, you can see maybe all five guys take out, whatever, take over the WWE, for a while. If it does happen that way, I think that'd be pretty cool. So, I just kind of wanted to kind of touch on that. Yeah, from what I hear, it could still be something entertaining.
Yeah. No, I'm. That's. I didn't know that that was the case. I like it. I like that direction. I'm waiting. I can't wait to find out who that talent is and who's coming up from NXT to do that. But I like it. I think that's very. I think that's a good way to go. Uh, I'm Ziggler Orton match.
Ridiculous.
uh, I, I think two of the best people that are two individuals that have some tremendous in-ring ability. Not no one carried one over the other. They did work themselves together.
I I feel like people forget, and I myself included, we forget how good Randy Orton can be in the ring. Like it, it when he's on, I don't know if anyone's actually better. Like I'm not gonna say he is the best, but I don't. I would put him up against anyone almost. And Ziggler, when he isn't sloppy, he's easy top 10. Um, just and probably they're probably number one and two on selling moves.
Yes.
Making the other guy look better by you know you know looking more hurt. Selling the move, trying to
Yes.
explain what that means. So it's just yeah, that match was awesome.
I liked what they were doing with. I like what they're doing in incorporating Seth Rollins as this complete anti-hero, as this complete heel, because not only is he's getting great boos, great I believe the term is pops from the crowds, uh, being that hate and
Heat.
everything. The heat,
Yeah.
okay, heat pops would be good, heat
Yep.
bad. Okay, got it. Uh, but coming out in the middle of the match with Randy Orton and everyone, and both Ziggler and Orton are kind of like, okay, you're here, and Ziggler can feel like, okay, is he gonna come after me now? But Orton's like, don't take my spotlight away from me, and I love that they're playing that up. And after Orton and Ziggler's match, uh, I can't even think who Rollins faced.
Jack Swagger.
Oh, Swagger. That's right, Swagger. Randy Orton comes out in the middle of it, and
RKO.
slithering around, yeah, and yeah, it was some great rivalry setting up that favorite child of the corporation, uh, of the authority, and who is the face of the WWE. And one thing I was DVR tweeting, I guess is the best way to put it, instead of live tweeting me watching the match between Rollins and Swagger. I don't know why, but I feel like Swagger hadn't looked that good in a long time. But maybe it's me not being the biggest Rollins fan, but I don't think Rollins is good enough in an extended match.
Really? I disagree. I think Rollins is that good. Um,
Okay, I haven't seen it yet. I and maybe it's his he sells just fine.
I
He rides in pain,
I I
real or imaginary. Go ahead.
I think right now with Rollins is kind of his character. He's more of there's certain heels like Randy Orton who his character doesn't allow him to be kind of uh, like a coward, I
Okay.
guess. And not many heels are the way Randy Orton is. Seth Rollins is more of a traditional heel where, he wins matches, but he can only really win matches by cheating, and you're not going to see a lot from him in the match, even if he has the ability. It's just kind of the character he's playing.
Okay.
Um, when he was part of the Shield, he was the best wrestler out of the three. He's a better wrestler than Dean Ambrose. Ambrose's character right now and his whole thing, he's number one in the WWE. I'm sorry. He's carrying the product. Um, his wrestling is good enough. His he's just I love Ambrose. He's probably my
Yeah.
favorite guy right now. Um, but like if you took away all that and you just went like in ring ability, Seth Rollins is better than Ambrose. And then I'm not taking anything away from Ambrose. Seth Rollins is just that good. He just hasn't shown ever since he's split up from the Shield. And I think it's just kind of his character. I think he's playing that type of heel where you're not going to see a lot from me, but I'm going to do something at the end to win, which is kind of unfortunate because he is good enough to carry a match.
Okay, and I can get behind that, and I can get behind me having a recency effect and having a short memory, which I guess I'm supposed to have. Uh, I've forgotten that he's that good because I I don't know. I don't want to say I've been blinded by Roman Reigns, this is recency, and Dean Ambrose's spotlight of just being an off the chain rabid monkey, rabid spider monkey style, which suits him fantastically. Great character, and I agree with you. Good enough for what the WWE needs right now. But in the past two matches, and I guess that is the character of Seth Rollins. In the past two extended matches, and the ones that really stick out for me being this past one with Jack Swagger, and before that, the longest match I think he's had was at Money in the Bank. And in those two matches, I definitely felt his competition carried him through it. I remember we said Ambrose did so much work in Money in the Bank. And
Yeah,
okay, and
I
then
think it was kind of set up that way though,
okay,
where it was Ambrose is just going to destroy you. I think it was kind of set up that way. Um, my question is, when are we Rollins versus Orton? Because this is something I really want to see, and they better not tease it and then just it never come to fruition because they do that so often with stuff like, wait a minute, we're and then it never happens. They need to have this. I need to see this. I need to see Orton versus Rollins. Um, and I actually think Orton would would be a better face right now. And I almost always think guys are better as heels. I think right now Orton would be better as a face. Um, he was getting a bit of a pop. I don't know if you heard it.
yes, yes, I did.
So the crowd is starting to back him a little bit, especially since he's kind of going against the major heel, like you said, in Rollins. So um, I, maybe by Survivor Series we see that.
I think it will be Survivor Series. Now, how does Survivor Series work? Is it one big match and it's just talent coming in constantly, leading up to the?
No,
Okay,
the original traditional Survivor Series matches, two teams of, I believe the first ever Survivor Series was teams of five, and then I
okay,
think the following years were teams of four, and it's like a tag team match, but it's an elimination match. So if someone on your team gets pinned or counted out or submitted, they're gone. Now it's 4-on-3.
okay,
Another guy on your team gets pinned. It's 4-on-2, and then it keeps going until there's
okay.
only one team left. Um, it, they have gone away from that. It used to be the whole pay per view was nothing but those matches, teams of 4-on-4 or 5-on-5. Um, for there was a few years where you didn't see that type of match at all. Then they started bringing it back, but only like you're gonna see one, maybe two. So, and they'll tell you it's a traditional Survivor Series match, and it'll probably be a team of four against a team of four. I wish they would go back to where the whole pay per view is that. It's fun. You have the network. Go
Yes.
back and watch some of the early ones,
Okay.
the early '90s. Maybe like what's the one I was trying to think of? I think it was like in '92. Um, I want to say, and it was in Chicago. Um, just really good stuff. So Go
Very
back,
cool.
go back and watch. Speaking
See,
speaking of